welcome now political strategist and former senior congressional aide Rina Shah to break this all down for us. Rina, great to see you this morning. So as you know,
good morning.
Good morning. You know, much of this conversation when you talk about CPAC has been centered around the former president's potential VP pick. Do you have a prediction for a timeline as to when he may make an announcement? And who do you think will make the short list?
Well, timeline is very interesting because it really could, conventional wisdom could lead us to believe that it would be between tomorrow and Super Tuesday, because he wants to go into Super Tuesday with some momentum. Now, of course, a great many critics of candidate Nikki Haley are saying that this will be the end all be all this weekend. If she can't really survive and win in her native South Carolina, what is she even doing in the race? And I would like to push back on that and say it's about the delegate math. Super Tuesday, again, next month, we are still weeks away. It is upon us, yes, but there is time. If she does not win tomorrow, she can mount a good strategy that allows her to succeed on Super Tuesday. There are so many delegates up for grabs coast to coast. Many of the races are winner takes all. Now, I do believe that this is the point at which we will get the pulse of the Republican electorate. Is there an appetite for Nikki Haley or not? Because till now, we've only seen some pretty evangelical, right-wing, further right bases who were never going to go for Nikki Haley vote for former President Trump. And that is the conundrum in which, again, Nikki Haley finds herself. But I again, read between the lines. She doesn't have to win in South Carolina to survive and pick up more delegates in order to go on and win the nomination.
You know, a really interesting conversation there. You know, Trump is such a dominating figure alone, Rina. How much do you think his choice of running mate will impact this race, if at all?
Well, I do think the VP nod is really big because, look, we know last time for Joe Biden it was a big one, and it will be again because a lot of the trust that maybe Democrats had hoped would be there for VP Harris isn't there. And that's why new names are in the mix on the left. Now, on the right, it's a dicey situation. You see Senator Tim Scott, Congresswoman Nancy Mace, both of South Carolina, both former friends of Nikki Haley, go up opposite her. And it's just naked ambition right there. They both want the VP nod from former President Trump. But then there's also Kristi Noem. I think we're going to get a relatively known but unknown figure to be the VP pick for the former president. I have my bet on somebody by the name of Senator Katie Britt of Alabama. She is somebody that is in the Trump orbit. He very much is a fan of hers. And I think we could be looking, again, outside the box when the former president makes his pick, because he knows he needs to, again, pick up those independent voters in swing states and pick up more women in order to lock up the White House.
And, you know, to your point previously about Nikki Haley, Senator Tim Scott says she needs to drop out for the good of the country. Here's the clip.
Lately, her campaign has been descending. Honestly, it's desperation that you feel coming from her camp. And when you feel that type of desperation, that means the race is already over. And the leading person, Nikki Haley herself, has to come to realization. She has to realize that this race is over. It is best for the country, not just a party. It is best for America that we focus on Joe Biden.
What is your assessment, Rina? We know she is playing the long game, but do you think it is potentially at the cost of damaging the GOP ticket?
I think there's so much bad blood between the current Senator Scott and Nikki Haley that he's out there making these remarks because he knows that the delegate math again is not yet against her. This is a very simple case of looking at the facts. And the facts are that independently minded, moderate, center-right folks have a real appetite for Nikki Haley. And you see Nikki Haley in matchups against the current president and up against some other Democrats, and she fares really well. So if Republicans really want to win the White House this time, it's not about starting early and attacking Joe Biden. You're hearing Nikki Haley attack Joe Biden. You're hearing former President Trump attack Joe Biden. This is Senator Tim Scott making making his own ambition known. He just wants this thing locked up and over so that he can go ahead and either get the nod or not get it. But the reality is Nikki Haley still can live to see another day if she doesn't do well in South Carolina. But after Super Tuesday, she's going to have a different strategy. And that strategy likely won't include angling to be Trump's VP. I think there's too much bad blood between her and former President Trump as well.
Yeah, I think many would agree with you, Rina. All right, Rina Shah, thank you as always.
Thank you.